Hare. Well, just when I think it can't get any more far out, it gets more far out. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's like in practicing this bhakti yoga, this mantra yoga, it seems like there's a constant trade-off that's going on. A letting go, and then when you let go, it frees up. You're freed up to the degree that you let go of what you're attached to, and then the tendency to get attached is still there, but then the attachment is more attached to Krishna. It seems like a constant process, and this letting go doesn't come easily. Because, at least with myself, I'm not even aware of what I'm holding on to. I'm so easily influenced by the illusory energy. I'm not even aware of what it is I'm holding on to, what I need to let go of in order to attach to Krishna. So it can be a little... when people do cleanses and purification of the body, sometimes they get like a cleansing crisis. Something like that. When that detaching is in process, and then you become more aware of what it is you're attached to, because it's getting removed. It's a kind of, it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But once it's gone, and that attachment, whether it's a pattern of thinking, a habit, either subtle or gross, once it's gone, the attachment to whatever that is, it's gone. There's no more energy invested in that. Then that energy is freed up and goes to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, instead of no, it's wouldn't you rather this? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Reading Krishna book. It's the summary study of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And you can just read, reading, or you can read and really try to comprehend what you're reading comprehension. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When you really start to comprehend what you're reading, Krishna. Woo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're going to read a little bit about Krishna's dealing with a demon, Bhaumāsura. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was asking myself this morning, what does Prabhupada want? What does Prabhupada want? Prabhupada, the spiritual master of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. What does he want? He wants everyone to become Krishna conscious. Well, that's what Krishna wants. And that's what the spiritual master also wants as the external manifestation of Krishna, super soul, within the heart of everyone. He wants everyone to become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he's given a lot of very exact instructions how to practice, how to teach Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'm asking myself, well, how do I fit in that? I don't wear the clothes. I just feel like my body's too old to do the regulated program. It doesn't cooperate. My body just does not cooperate. What to speak of my mind. So how do I fit into this? Well, I take what Prabhupada wants and I boil it down to the bare essential, is that he wants me, us, everyone to be Krishna conscious. So I just take that. He wants me to be Krishna conscious. And there are some bare practices, just when you get it right down, take all the trimmings off, and you just get right down, is hearing, and chanting, studying the Shastra, wherever possible, dedicating all of activities, cooking, maintaining a dwelling, an ashram, or a home, or whatever, everything in relationship to serving Krishna. That Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the friend. In this way, practice Krishna consciousness. And that's about the the best I can do with it at this point. I don't feel like I can really do much more than that. I see that some devotees are empowered to do quite a bit. Hold big programs open to the public, travel and preach, write books. You know, they're empowered to do those things. I'm not. I'm just not. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So, taking it that my spiritual master just wants everyone to be Krishna conscious. He wants me to be Krishna conscious. And that the purport to that instruction is to accept everything favorable for Krishna consciousness and reject everything unfavorable. And just try to work with that. Hare Krishna, that's the best I can do. I can't. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Woo! Let's put it this way. If I can do this, anyone can. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's yoga. This is a type of yoga practice. It's mantra yoga. This is a transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna. It's considered the highest form of yoga. Bhakti yoga, mantra yoga, bhakti yoga, the highest form. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh God, I was thinking yesterday about the orchestra. An orchestra, you know how they tune up, and it's like I'm always tuning up. I never I don't seem to ever really get to play. I'm just always tuning up. I'm so out of tune that I'm just constantly tuning up. And that's okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, someday I'll actually play in the orchestra. The conductor waved his baton, put it in my direction. Someday, I just keep tuning up. I don't want to. I want to be in tune. So, this is the score. This is the sheet music. And let's see. They're actually called cantos. I wonder what canto means. I'm sure it refers to something musical. Let me see. Let's take a look at canto. I somehow think, just by everyday use of words, that I understand what they mean. But I don't really. Let's see. Okay, one of the sections into which certain long poems are divided. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The root of the word, the etymology, is derived from the Italian word for song or singing, which is related to Latin cantus, song, to sing. So yes, it is related to music, the etymology of the word. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Pretty good, huh? So this is, let's see. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the chapter 58, the deliverance of the demon Bhaumāsura. The story of Bhaumāsura, how he kidnapped and made captive 16,000 princesses collected from the palaces of various kings, and how he was killed by Krishna, the Supreme Lord of wonderful character, is all described by Sukadeva Goswami to King Parikshit in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we're just going to read over that and just, okay, so yeah, he captured 16,000 princesses from different palaces. Yeah, okay. But look at that number. 16,000. These are accounts from past times that are recorded by Srila Vyasadeva that took place 5,000 years ago on this planet. So, look at that number. 16,000. 16,000 kings with 16,000 princesses means 16,000 kingdoms. Where were all those kingdoms? On this planet, 16,000 kingdoms? How big were they? I want to take a look at something here. I want to see how many countries there are in the world today. Google's so helpful. Right now, on this planet, there are 195 countries in the world. Oh, actually, that's a mistake. There are 249 countries. So there are 249 countries on the planet today. 5,000 years ago, there were 16,000 kingdoms with kings and royal families and princesses. But that wasn't the total number of kingdoms and kings. That was just the 16,000 that Bhaumāsura raided. And there were more. Where were they? How big were they? What was the planet like 5,000 years ago? I know what life was like 70 years ago, and it's vastly different from what it was, vastly different now from what it was then. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Okay, so just to put that in perspective, you know, it was 16,000 kingdoms. Okay, so this demon, generally the demons are always against the demigods. This demon, Bhaumāsura, having become very powerful, took by force the umbrella from the throne of the demigod Varuna. He also took the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the demigods. He conquered a portion of heavenly Mount Meru and occupied the portion which was known as Mani Parvata. The king of the heavenly planets, Indra, therefore came to Dwarka to complain about Bhaumāsura before Lord Krishna. Well, we're not sure, now I'm not sure how to understand this. Were all those kingdoms actually on this planet? If this demon was so powerful that he could go to the heavenly planets and steal Varuna's umbrella and steal the earrings of Aditi, I mean, was she wearing them when he stole them? And even conquered a portion of the heavenly Mount Meru. So, Maybe it wasn't on this planet. Maybe the kingdoms were on other planets. I want to understand this, because Krishna is extraordinary. Everything about Krishna is extraordinary, and our vision is very mundane. So, hearing this complaint by Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Krishna, accompanied by his wife Satyabhama, immediately started for the abode of Bhaumāsura. Okay, so Satyabhama and Krishna rode on the back of Garuda. Why did he take Satyabhama with him? Who flew them to Pragyotishapur, the capital city of Bhaumāsura. We don't know where this was. They flew on Garuda to Pragyotishapur. It was not a very easy task to enter into the city of, it's not very easy to say it, Pragyotishapur, because it was very well fortified. First of all, there were 4 formidable forts guarding the 4 directions of the city, and it was well protected on all sides by formidable military strength. The next boundary was a water canal all around the city, and in addition to the whole city was surrounded by, you ready for this? Electric wires. Hey, Mr. Edison, there was electric wires 5,000 years ago. The next fortification was of anila, a gaseous substance. After this, there was a network of barbed wire constructed by a demon of the name Mura. It appeared that the city was well protected, even in terms of today's scientific advancements. When Krishna arrived, he broke all the forts to pieces by the strokes of his club, and the military strength scattered here and there by the constant onslaught of the arrows of Krishna. With his celebrated Sudarshan chakra, given to him by Agni Dev, he counteracted the electrified boundary. The channels of water and the gaseous boundary were made null and void, and he cut to pieces the electrified network fabricated by the demon Mura. By the vibration of his conch shell, he not only broke the hearts of great fighters, but also the fighting machines which were there. Similarly, the walls around the city were broken by his invincible club. The vibration of his conch shell sounded like the thunderbolt at the time of the dissolution of the whole cosmic situation. Where did he get the conch shell, Panchajan? Where did he? Oh no, that was Arjuna. Oh well, Krishna's conch shell. The demon Mura heard the vibration of the conch shell, awakened from his sleep, and personally came out to see what was happening. He had 5 heads and had long been living within the water. So this is the Mura demon. The Mura demon was as brilliant as the sun at the time of dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, and his temper was like blazing fire. The effulgence of his body was so dazzling that it was difficult to see him with open eyes. When he came out, he first of all took out his trident and began to rush the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The onslaught of the demon Mura was like a big snake attacking Garuda. His angry mood was very severe, and he appeared ready to devour the three worlds. First of all, he attacked the carrier of Krishna, Garuda, by whirling his trident, and he began to vibrate sounds through his 5 faces like the roaring of a lion. The roaring produced by the vibration of his mouths spread all over the atmosphere until it extended not only all over the world, but also into outer space, up and down, and out to the 10 directions. Until it extended not only all over the world. What world? The material world? The whole material world? And into outer space. 10 directions. In this way, the sound was rumbling throughout the whole universe. Lord Krishna saw that the trident of the Mura demon was gradually rushing toward his carrier, Garuda. Immediately, by a trick of his hand, he took 2 arrows and threw them toward the trident, cutting it to pieces. Simultaneously, using many arrows, he pierced the mouths of the demon Mura. When he saw himself outmaneuvered by the Supreme Person, he pierced the mouths. So he was making this horrible sound, so Krishna shut his mouth with the arrows. He pierced the mouths of the demon Mura. When he saw himself outmaneuvered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Mura demon immediately began to strike him in great anger with his club. But Lord Krishna, with his own club, broke the club of Mura to pieces before it could reach him. The demon, bereft of his weapon, decided to attack Krishna with his strong arms. But by the aid of his Sudarshan chakra, Krishna immediately separated the demon's 5 heads from his body. The demon fell into the water, just as the peak of a mountain falls into the ocean after being struck by the thunderbolt of Indra. Okay, so it's not the end of it. This demon Mura had 7 sons, named Tamra, Antariksha, Shravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabhava, Nabhaspan, and Aruna. All of them became puffed up and vengeful because of the death of their father, and in order to retaliate, they prepared in great anger to fight with Krishna. They equipped themselves with necessary weapons and situated Pita, another demon, to act as commander in the battle. By the order of Bhaumāsura, all of them combinedly attacked Krishna. When they came before Lord Krishna, they began to shower him with many kinds of weapons, like swords, clubs, lances, arrows, tridents. But they did not know that the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unlimited and invincible. Krishna, with his arrows, cut all the weapons of the men of Bhaumāsura into pieces like grains. Krishna then threw his weapons and Bhaumāsura's commander-in-chief, Pita, along with all his assistants, fell down. Their military dress cut off, their heads, legs, arms, and thighs severed. All of them were sent to the superintendent of death, Yamaraj. It's interesting when we think about weapons that are so popular these days, firearms. They're called firearms. Guns. It's a firearm. The striking of the hammer, when you pull the trigger, on the gunpowder, causes an explosion, fire. So they're fire weapons that shoot these arrows or bullets. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Bhaumāsura was also known as Narakasura, for he happened to be the son of the earth, personified. Is that Bhumi? Bhumi? She's the deity, the earth deity, Bhumi. Well, his name is Bhaumāsura. He was the son of Bhumi. When he saw that all his soldiers, commanders, and fighters were killed on the battlefield by the strokes of the weapons of the personality of Godhead, he became exceedingly angry at the Lord. He then came out of the city with a great number of elephants who had all been born and brought up on the seashore. What difference does that make for elephants? Oh well. All of them were highly intoxicated. When they came out, they saw that Lord Krishna and his wife, Satyabhama, were beautifully situated high in outer space, just like a blackish cloud about the sun, glittering with the light of electricity. The demon Bhaumāsura immediately released a weapon called Satagni, by which he could kill hundreds of warriors with one stroke. And simultaneously, all his assistants also threw their respective weapons at the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna began to counteract all these weapons by releasing his feathered arrows. The result of this fight was that all the soldiers and commanders of Bhaumāsura fell to the ground, their arms, legs, and heads separated from their trunks, and all their horses and elephants also fell with them. In this way, all the weapons released by Bhaumāsura were cut to pieces by the reaction of the Lord's arrows. So to be killed directly by the Lord is it's actually a benediction. It's actually, they were all benefited. The Lord was fighting on the back of Garuda, and Garuda was also helping the Lord by striking the horses and the Garuda's a giant bird. Hare Krishna. Flapping of his wings is the sound of the Vedas. Garuda. The Lord was fighting on the back of Garuda, and Garuda was also helping the Lord by striking the horses and elephants with his wings and scratching their heads with his nails and sharpened beak. The elephants were feeling much pain by Garuda's attack on them, and they were all dispersing from the battlefield. Bhaumāsura alone remained on the battlefield, and he engaged himself in fighting with Krishna. He saw that Krishna's carrier, Garuda, was causing great disturbance to his soldiers and elephants, and in great anger he struck Garuda with all his strength, which defied the strength of a thunderbolt. Fortunately, Garuda was not an ordinary bird, and he felt the strokes given by Bhaumāsura just as a great elephant feels the impact of a garland of flowers. Bhaumāsura thus came to see that none of his tricks would act upon Krishna, and became aware that all his attempts to kill Krishna would be frustrated. Yet, he attempted, for the last time, taking a trident in his hand, to strike him. Krishna was so dexterous that before Bhaumāsura could touch his trident, his head was cut off by the sharp Sudarshan chakra. His head, illuminated by earrings and helmets, fell down on the battlefield. On the occasion of Bhaumāsura's being killed by Lord Krishna, all the demons' relatives began to scream in disappointment, and the saintly persons began to glorify the chivalrous activities of the Lord. Taking this opportunity, the denizens of the heavenly planets began to shower flowers upon the Lord. Yeah, so he was the son of Bhumi. At this time, the earth personified appeared before Lord Krishna and greeted him with a garland of Vajanti jewels. She also returned the dazzling earrings of Aditi, bedecked with jewels and gold. She returned the umbrella of Varuna, along with another valuable jewel, which she presented to Krishna. After this, the earth personified began to offer her prayers to Krishna, the Supreme Personality and Master of the world, who is always worshipped by very exalted demigods. She fell down in obeisances and in great devotional ecstasy began to speak. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who is always present with 4 kinds of symbols, namely his conch shell, disc, lotus, and club, and who is the Lord of all demigods. Please accept my respectful obeisances unto you, my dear Lord. You are the Super Soul, and in order to satisfy the aspiration of your devotees, you descend on the earth, and your various transcendental incarnations were just appropriate to the devotee's worshipful desire. Kindly accept my respectful obeisances. My dear Lord, the lotus flower is grown out of your navel, and you are always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Your eyes are always spread like the petals of the lotus flower, and therefore they are all pleasing to the eyes of others. Your lotus feet are so soft and delicate that they're always worshipped by your unalloyed devotees, and they pacify their lotus-like hearts. I therefore repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You possess all kinds of religions, fame, poverty, knowledge, and renunciation. You are the shelter of all 5 opulences. Although you are all-pervading, you have nevertheless appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. You are the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and the supreme cause of all causes. Only your Lordship is the reservoir of all knowledge. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Personally, you are unborn still. You are the Father of the whole cosmic manifestation. You are the reservoir and shelter of all kinds of energies. The manifest appearance of this world is caused by you, and you are both the cause and effect of this cosmic manifestation. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. My dear Lord, as for the 3 gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they are also not independent of you. When there is necessity for creating this cosmic manifestation, you create your passionate appearance of Brahma. And when you want to maintain this cosmic manifestation, you expand yourself as Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all goodness. Similarly, you appear as Lord Shiva, master of the modes of ignorance, and thus dissolve the whole creation. Your transcendental position is always maintained, in spite of creating these 3 modes of material nature. You are never entangled, like the ordinary living entities, with these modes of material nature. Actually, my Lord, you are the material nature. You are the Father of the universe, and you are the eternal time that has caused the combination of nature and the material creator. Still, you are always transcendental to all these material activities. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know that earth, water, fire, air, sky, the 5 sense objects, the mind, the senses, and their deities, egotism, as well as all the total material energy, everything, animate and inanimate, in this phenomenal world is resting upon you. Since everything is produced of you, nothing can be separated from you, yet, since you are transcendentally situated, neither can anything material be identified with your personality. Everything is therefore simultaneously one and different from you, and the philosophers who try to separate everything from you are certainly mistaken in their viewpoint. My dear Lord, may I inform you that this boy, whose name is Bhagat, is the son of my son, Bhaumāsura. He has been very much affected by the ghastly situation created by the death of his father. He has become very much confused, being afraid of the present situation. I have therefore brought him to surrender unto your lotus feet. I request your lordship to give shelter to this boy and bless him with your lotus feet. I am bringing him to you so that he may become relieved from the reactions of all the sinful activities of his father. When Lord Krishna heard the prayers of Mother Earth, he immediately assured her of immunity from all fearful situations. He said to Bhagat, "Don't be afraid." Then he entered the palace of Bhaumāsura, which was equipped with all kinds of opulences. In the palace of Bhaumāsura, which Krishna saw 16,100 young princesses who had been kidnapped and held captive there. When the princesses saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, enter the palace, they immediately became captivated by the beauty of the Lord and prayed for his causeless mercy. Within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without any hesitation. Each of them began to pray to Providence that Krishna might become her husband. Sincerely and seriously, they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. As the super soul in everyone's heart, Krishna could understand their uncontaminated desire, and he agreed to accept them as his wives. Thus, he arranged for suitable dresses and ornaments for them, and each of them, seated on a palanquin, was dispatched to Dwarka city. Krishna also collected unlimited wealth from the palace, along with chariots, horses, jewels, and treasure. He took from the palace 50 white elephants, each with 4 tusks, and all of them were dispatched to Dwarka. After this incident, Lord Krishna and Satyabhama entered Amaravati, the capital city of the heavenly planets, and they immediately entered the palace of King Indra and his wife, Sachi Devi, who welcomed them. Krishna then presented Indra with the earrings of Aditi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, so the thing about 16,000 kingdoms and 16,100 princesses, and how could that be on this planet when right now on a planet Earth there's only 235 countries? How could there have been 16,000 kingdoms? So this Bhaumāsura, he had the ability to travel throughout the entire universe. So he was raiding kingdoms, evidently, on other planets. He even managed to go to the heavenly planets and steal the mother of the demigod's earrings. Ask me how he did that, but I'm sure there's an account of it somewhere. So that helps. It also helps to understand how extraordinary Hare Krishna is. It's not just about Varnashram Dharma on this planet. Or just making everything nice here. It's not about that. There's a lot more going on in Krishna consciousness. Krishna, as part of Krishna's mission, Vishnu is to maintain. But when we hear about this extraordinary scope of activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can understand how covered over we are, but human form is a good opportunity. It's a really great opportunity to actually get out of the material world altogether, return to the spiritual sky. And practicing, tuning up with this spiritual sound vibration is a special benediction for us at this time. Hare Krishna.